Let's show a little sample of how to get ink back into this marker pen. You can get them coloring sets at like the drugstore, like CVS or Walgreens. It's a very cheap little pen that has a great tip on it that doesn't really wear out. This was a brown marker, and I had refilled it once with some brown ink, but I'd like it to get a little darker. So I'm going to use black ink. I just use a plastic cup. I pour a little bit of this Higgins Eternal black ink, just enough to kind of fill the bottom with about 1/8 of an inch. You just set this down in there to soak up the ink overnight. That's why I have paper down, because it could get messy. So I'm just going to do a little splash in there. That's like gallons of ink, really. And you just let that sit. You know, hopefully you don't knock it over by accident. Maybe prop a pencil or something under there. So now the ink is in the corner and the pen's resting, and I'll just let that sit overnight. We've been soaking this crayon marker in India ink. So now it should be good and wet and have a nice dark line. So I'll get this ready. So originally this pen was brown, so it's going to be a dark brown line, but it's got this felt tip that's rounded. You can do thick and thin based on the pressure you're using. So you can kind of brush like a paintbrush, or you can draw really hard for a fat line. Starting with his forehead, same as always, and you see how flat it is in the front. We'll try to do this one a little quicker. He's got just a bit of a smirk there. And some whiskers. His chin's kind of rounded, and we'll add the fuzz later for the beard. But we want to get our foundation in there. Now we could go in and get some indication for the whiskers. And just single lines for the hair. And his eyelash is pretty bold, so I'm just going to draw this little arch shape first, and then the eyelids come down. His eye's a little more open. And he's got a thick eyebrow. And here's what I look out for is this space in here and how it relates to the eye. Don't make it too arched, and don't make it too low, so he's so serious. It's just kind of in between, and so it's vertical, brush strokes, and you see it goes flat, and then it comes down like a little pointy shape here, almost like a little scary finger coming down. So maybe I'll even brush that in slightly, that little point shape, and then fill that in. I don't know if you've ever done this, if you've been working on your tablet, and then you get over to paper, and then you're trying to do this. It doesn't work. Little tip of the day. And this hair's kind of curled and slipped back. Be real sculpty and simplified on the hair. And then we could just brush in a few whiskers and get that shape in hair. We'll have an ear lesson on one of these videos around here somewhere. And the whiskers kind of come down, but we leave this area open because we're going to do a small body. Looks like he's wearing like a turtleneck or something. He's a gold medalist fencer. Or I don't know what the word is for fencing, but you can give him a little sword. Give him a fencing pose. Because they're It's kind of a almost like a one-piece thing, but it is a shirt. It's like a heavy shirt that has padding. You just try to give it a little bit of expression. And you can be fighting off all the other swordsmen. And I don't put a lot into the other one, but you can kind of tell it's a little hand holding a sword. Maybe some sparks flying. Yeah, these little pens are great. I'll do a video on where I found them. So there's lots more faces to draw. I got some kids, I got some kittens, and there's more to come. Just so keep that pencil moving, and we'll talk next time.